especially impressed that the Gen Z, the young folks, the millennials, have gotten the message. There's some exceptions. They were living in a bubble. I know my son, who's a junior in college, when he first heard they were going to shut down, he goes to Harvard, one of the first schools to shut down, he was stunned. But over the course of about 48 hours, they realized this is a big deal. This is our generation's chance to shine. And we can actually be adults and contribute. We don't have to be little kids watching what happens when the big boys do things.
You didn't let your son go to spring break, did you, Dr. Oz?
No, he didn't. In fact, what he did this week was pen an op-ed for the Washington Examiner, which was published last night, that basically articulates to his generation a call to action. It's what all of his friends are saying.
Right.
And when he came home to our town, he talked to all his friends. They all go to different colleges.
Good.
For these folks, it's going to be a formative generational moment.
Yeah, because we actually have 2 spring breakers who partied during the pandemic on the show, and we'll talk to them to see if they even regret that. So, a lot of people that don't live in cities don't understand what's really happening right now in places like Manhattan or San Francisco. The city of Manhattan right now is completely shut down. This is a city that, has thousands of restaurants. Every person is stacked on top of each other, and it's a total ghost town. For people that are living in the suburbs or rural America, what do they need to understand, and what do they need to do to join us to help fight this thing?
Well, I want to emphasize that the big cities are shutting down in part to protect rural America.
Right.
I mean, this is what China did with Wuhan. By shutting down that community, 60 million people, largest quarantine ever, they literally prevented the virus from creating the same kinds of epidemic in surrounding areas.
But they didn't shut it down fast enough, and we're going to talk to Dan Bongino about that later in the hour.
But in our country, if we can shut down New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, some of the big urban areas that are affected, some parts of Florida, and then we'll start to see a very different growth pattern of the virus. And of course, the city hospitals are going to get overwhelmed the first. We have the biggest risk there. The president's mobilizing forces to support those efforts. And I'm very impressed by the scientific task force. I mean, these are Bergson and Fauci. These are big name folks who are superstars in our field, who have taken leadership positions, and they're getting listened to. There's political leaders right and left. It doesn't matter if that's all broken down. Folks are doing the right thing, the brave thing.
Yeah, and the key, in my opinion, is getting these therapeutic drugs and the vaccine fast-tracked. Once we get a handle on that, I think everything will start calming down, hopefully. When you're quarantined and you're in the house alone or with family members, what are some things people can be doing to stay clean and to stay healthy? Should they be washing down surfaces of the apartment or their house? What do they need to be doing?
Well, the first thing you want to do is close the borders of your house. So when you order food and the food comes in and the cardboard that is in the plastic container has been touched by people you don't know, especially because they have to get touched to get into your house, you need to discard those containers at the door, pour out the ingredients, the food, in those containers you know are clean, and then get rid of those containers.
What about Amazon deliveries too? Same thing?
Same thing. You know what I mean? Again, to our best knowledge, the virus does not live more than 12 to 24 hours on cardboard. So it's not the Chinese person who put it in the box. It's the person who actually delivered it to your doorstep that's the bigger risk. But by allowing it either to sit by itself for a day so that the virus dies, or by discarding the box, you're good to go. In terms of clothing, don't forget your shoes, your clothes don't carry virus. Not for very long. It's measured less than a day, but you don't want to trek it around the house. So all shoes come off at the door. Clothes come up, over the coats or whatever, put on a hook in the middle of the entryway of your apartment or house, and then your clothes can be hung up over the course of a day. They should be clean and free of virus. You can wash, because washing your hands, washing dishes, and washing clothes all does the same thing. The detergent, the soap kills the virus and washes it away.
That's really good advice about the clothing and the deliveries to the house. I think a lot of Americans weren't aware of that. What other things, if you're walking next to someone, if you are outside, they're saying you keep a distance of about 6 feet?
The reason 6 feet is important is we know that the virus aerosolizes. So if I were to sneeze or cough, there's a plume, a cloud that arises from my mouth that goes up in the air and it lasts there for a long time. I mean, Dr. Fauci was talking about hours, but let's just say minutes. The virus is up there. So if you walk through that cloud, it can get into your nose, your mouth. So 2 things. Keeping 6 feet away means that plume won't come close to you. If you stay hydrated, your mucous membranes won't dry up. They won't crack, so the virus can't penetrate.
Yes.
Now in the summer or or when it gets warmer, which is happening already,
Right.
the humidity swells the virus. It doesn't travel as far. Instead of going 6 feet, it goes, I don't know, 2 feet.
That's
less,
really positive.
A lot less.
All right, so stay
It
hydrated.
doesn't come to you.
Sneeze here, and if you see someone sneezing or coughing, stay the heck away. All right, Dr. Oz, very, very good advice for all Americans to listen to. Thank
Jesse,
you very much.
can I offer you one more insight you want to know? The biggest moment for me on this whole pandemic happened yesterday with the release of the paper that Dr. Fauci mentioned briefly today, showing that a repurposing of the malaria drug that was brought on the market in '55 and this new Z-Pack combination might actually dramatically cut the virus load in half, but also end virus contamination by 6 days in the people who are tried on. That's a third of what it is currently. That's a game changer if it's true. We need to fast track research on that specific combination because that can be rolled out immediately.
Sounds great. Thank you very much, Doctor. I appreciate it. Now time for a fact